The Yankees just took a series against Texas. 2 tight wins, 1 shutout loss. And once again, everything came back to starting pitching. But this series also gave us something else. Something we haven't seen enough of from this team in recent years. An uncomfortable decision. And that might matter just as much as anything on the field. So, the series snapshot, game 1, we win 4-2. We got 6 shutout innings with 4 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts from Max Fried. Yankees had 3 home runs. Rice and Judge went back-to-back in the third, and Jazz added another in the fourth. Doval ended up coming in and giving up 1 home run to Jock Peterson, and then Bednar came in, gave up 2 hits, no earned runs, but 1 run. The error in the ninth allowed the unearned run to score and the winning run to come to the plate in the ninth inning. But the Yankees held on to win 4-2. Game 2, the Yankees win 3-2 again, behind another 6-inning shutout from their starter, this time Cam Schlittler. He gives up 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Bednar again gets the save, goes 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 unearned run. Once again, there was another error in the ninth inning that allowed the winning run to come to the plate. Judge went 2 for 4, 2 runs scored, a home run. Wells also had 2 hits, went 2 for 3 with a home run. And Fernando Cruz had an unbelievable defensive play in the 8th inning. It might have been the play of the game to get a runner out at third base on a bunt when they had first and second and no outs. Game 3, the Yankees end up getting shut out 3-0. Elmer Rodriguez makes his MLB debut, 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. He had poor control, but he was able to get himself out of these jams for the most part for the first 4 innings. It wasn't until the 5th inning that things started to fall apart for him. But the offense was absolutely anemic. Ben Rice was the only decent hitter for the Yankees. He went 3 for 4, had 3 of the Yankees' 5 total hits. Some things to note, Dominguez left the game after getting hit by a pitch, and Schumann ended up taking over in left field, went 0 for 1 with a walk. And before this game, the Yankees DFA'd Randall Grichuk to allow Rodriguez to make his MLB debut. So, all in all, the Yankees had 2 wins, 1 loss, all low scoring, all mostly controlled. This one wasn't about overpowering a team. It was about executing within a narrow margin. So, what held in this series? Well, number 1, the starting pitching. First 2 games, you get 6 scoreless innings from your starting pitching. That is the identity. That is what is driving this Yankees team right now. Number 2, the ability to win games. The ability to win tight games, more specifically. That 4-2, 3-2, that is real October style, like playoff baseball. You have to win the tight games. And then number 3 is the game control when the starter sets it. So when the Yankees start out clean, everything slows down. They look like a complete team. They get enough hits and runs to put themselves in a position to win. What did not hold in this series was the offensive margin for error. I mean, we only scored 7 runs in 3 games. Game 3, we score 0 runs, get shut out, and that is the risk because when the offense doesn't give you a margin for error, there is no cushion. So if the starting pitching isn't dominant, you're screwed. The other thing that didn't hold was the support for the non-dominant starts. And this is what we wanted to keep an eye on coming into this series was how do the Yankees do when the starter's not dominant? Well, Rodriguez making his MLB debut goes 4+ innings, gives up the 2 runs. That's winnable. He kept them in the game. He didn't look great. I'm sure he had nerves. Everybody was talking about that. He was supposedly very good at ball control in the minors. So the thought process there is he was nervous making his MLB debut in front of all these fans. He only gave up 2 runs. And they still lose 3-0. And then number 3 is what didn't hold, the offensive consistency. Again, it's still fluctuating. It's still not reliable game to game, series to series. There's some series we score 12 runs, 11 runs, 13 runs in a game. And then there's series like this where we max out at 4. That series against the Rays, we didn't score more than 4 runs. They swept us. So, did we respond in this series? Well, the question coming into this series was, can they sustain this pitching-driven identity? And the answer is yes, but they're still dependent on it. And that's where the next layer comes in. Because it's not just about performance, it's about decisions. So, what was the turning point of this series? Well, it was game 3. In those middle innings, you see where the limitation is. It's not in the pitching failure, but in the offensive absence. They didn't lose control, they just never created any. And that's the difference. You could have a great pitching performance. You could have 6 innings, no earned runs from your starter. If your offense scores 0 runs, you can't win. You cannot win if you don't score. So, what player performances were positive in this series? Got to go back to the starting pitching. Fried, Schlittler, absolutely phenomenal performances. The starting pitching is now the foundation. It's not just one series. It's not just one stretch. We're a month into the season right now. This is who the Yankees are. The starting pitching, especially between Fried and Schlittler, is just phenomenal. Another player who stuck out to me in this series, Judge. Got a bunch of hits, 2 home runs. He was the best offensive performer in this series. The concern from this series is the offensive support or lack thereof. The pressure is shifting because now the expectation is the pitching is going to keep you in every game. But the offense is going to decide if you win or lose. So it's great to have the pitching, but you can only win if you score runs. So right now what's trending is the team identity is pitching first. This is fully established now. There is no guessing. There is no debate. This team, the foundation of this 2026 Yankees team is the starting pitching. Likely it will get better, which is amazing, when Cole and Rodon come back. And when that happens, it'll be interesting to see which pieces move to the bullpen, and maybe that helps out in the bullpen as well. we'll see. As for the structural check of this team, well, let's look at what the Yankees did differently. The Yankees made a move in this series that they haven't really been doing in recent years. They DFA'd a struggling veteran and brought up younger talent. And that matters because for a long time, this team avoided those decisions. They wait until late in the season before making those decisions. They waited, they explained, and they hoped things would turn. This time, they acted. And why does this matter? It's because this aligns with everything we've been talking about. Anticipating risk, not explaining it after, and making the decisions before it costs you. That is how serious teams operate. When you see them, obviously Stanton goes on the IL, but when you see them bringing up Dominguez, and then they DFA Grichuk, bring up Rodriguez, let this young stud develop in the major leagues. He's already shown that at AAA, he's got a 1.2 something ERA. He's dominating there. Let him come up. Let him show what he can do. We don't need a struggling left fielder hitting under 200, well past his prime, to go out there every time we're facing lefties. That doesn't do anything for us. Not at this point. Is he going to be the guy that you want up at the plate in the playoffs in Game 7 when there's 2 outs and bases loaded and you're down 1? No. Let these kids come up, develop, and show what they can do. So, what's aligned now for this team? The starting pitching is driving the identity. We've said it a million times. Game control is pretty consistent. It would be nice to score a few more runs. It would be nice to have that cushion so not all of the pressure is on the starting pitching. It would be nice to be able to bail out the bullpen late, come back from being down, which we've only done a couple of times. But for the most part, the game control has been consistent because of how good the starting pitching has been. And the third thing that's aligned is the organizational willingness, which is improving. They are willing to make the tough decisions. They are willing to cut the struggling veteran and let the young guys play. What is not aligned, again, the offensive reliability. Still just not consistent enough. It's not dependable. Next series, they'll be back at Yankee Stadium, hopefully being at home. That'll get that offense going again. But as of right now, it runs hot and cold. It's still just not dependable. And the other thing is winning outside the formula. Right now, again, if the starting pitching specifically is not dominant, they don't win. Period. So, what have we learned from this series with Texas? Number one, the team has a clear identity. They go as far as the starting pitching takes them. Period. Number two, the margin is still thin. Even when they win, these games are a little too close for comfort. Having the defense make errors in the ninth inning on back-to-back games in the first two games of this series, letting the tying run and then winning run come up to the plate in the ninth inning on back-to-back games, it's too close. It's too close. They make you feel like, oh my God, we're going to blow this game. Luckily, we didn't for those first two. And then the third thing is the organization might be shifting. And this is the biggest development because it's not just how they play, it's how do they make decisions. And we're starting to finally see some decisions, uncomfortable decisions, being made early, which is what you want. So let's go to the trend line. Starting pitching, trending up. I mean, it's been up. It continues to stay up. Elmer Rodriguez, I'm not concerned about that start. I think it was debut jitters, and I think he's going to be fine. I'm interested to see how he does in his next start. The trend line for the offense, it's not going up or down at this point. Sometimes they score, sometimes they don't. We scored enough to win 2 games this series, but getting shut out does not make you feel all that confident. The execution, still trending up. You had those errors in the ninth inning. I don't love that. And there was one unearned run scored out of that. Luckily, it did not cost us either of those games. So, winning 2 out of 3, winning the series, another series in the books, I'll say that's decent execution. And then decision making, trending up. Loved the moves going into the third game of this series. Now, with Dominguez getting hit by that pitch, we're not sure exactly what that means. If he ends up missing time for the injury, then will we see Spencer Jones? It'd be nice. I mean, you know what to expect with Spencer Jones. There's going to be a lot of strikeouts. There's going to be some home runs. And there's going to be about a 240-ish average. So I wouldn't be expecting a 300 hitter. So, but we'll see. I would like to see him in the majors at some point relatively soon if there is a spot open for him. And with them DFAing Grichuk, if Dominguez ends up being hurt and Stanton's already hurt, might be a good time to bring up Jones and see what he can do. All right, so what should we watch for in this next series at home against Baltimore? Well, number one is, can the offense stabilize? That's the biggest gap right now. It fluctuates. Some days it's there, some days it's not. I would love to see some consistent baseball where we're scoring 5+ runs every game. Number two, again, can we win without dominant starts? And that's really the next test. Because we know when we have the dominant starts, we can win. When it's not there for the starting pitching, that's when it's dicey. Luckily, it's been there more than it hasn't been. So, that is the next thing that this team has to figure out, is how to win games when your starter isn't dominant. And then number 3 is, do they continue to make proactive decisions? And again, we'll see what ends up happening with Dominguez if he's on the IL. Who is it that they bring up? These decisions might just be as important as anything they do on the field. It just shows what direction is this organization going in. Are we going to hold them up to this standard? And we should. And they should. They've made the right decisions in the last few days. So I would love to see that continue. So the final verdict after this series, the Yankees know who they are now. And they're starting to act like it. But this series showed us something important. They're still dependent on one path to win. And until they prove that they can win another way, they're good, They're improving, but they're not yet complete. That's the standard. Not just having a strength, but having the ability to win when that strength isn't perfect. And that's the next step for this team. This is The Standard with Brian Leavy.